roll, shall we? But yes, if this is your first video, please consider following me here on Twitch, liking my videos on YouTube, and following me on YouTube, subscribing on YouTube. Oh, doing the grind, man. The content creation grind is rough. That's the hard part, is like, you know, seeing periods of growth and then stagnation and then periods of growth. Like, that's what you really have to mentally prepare yourself for that part of it. Thought I heard some sort of scratching noise. So we were in the process of getting our skills grinded out on these characters. Like, you don't have to, but it's just something that needs to get done. Like, there's no way around it, unfortunately. Or you could just not use skills. That's also an option, I guess. But the game gets a lot more fun with skill, let me tell you.
Here we go.
Yeah, the past few days, like, I've just been feeling like not into it, you know? Like, I've been feeling tired all the time. Like, my diet definitely hasn't been good with it. Like, I haven't been eating a whole lot of, like, carbs. Like, not complex carbs, at least. Like, very low carb stuff. Yesterday I had cookies for the first time in, like...
The sign of victory!
Months?
Yay!
Like, literally months.
Good job!
And... yeah, like, it sucks because I was just feeling depressed yesterday. Like, maybe, like, I had thought to myself, like, maybe I should get back on antidepressants. But I know what it's like whenever my physical health feels good enough to the point where my mental health isn't a factor. I just need to get back to that point. It's just been really hard.
Victory!
And then, like, every morning I schedule 3 new videos on YouTube, and I have to, like, write out the tags and do all that stuff. And I'll also, like, that's when I do my Reddit browsing. I'm not much of a Redditor, to be perfectly honest. Like, I don't know, I try to, but so much of the community is like, feels like they're toxic. Or like, you try to do the dating parts of Reddit because, I mean, well, I don't know, how do you meet people these days? I'm trying different things, but I've never been one to go out, like, to bars and shit. Like, that's not my thing. So I'm trying different avenues of, like, online and stuff.
I got no time to think.
Just beat him senseless and you'll win.
And it's like, you know, you see somebody with an interesting, like, dating post, like they're looking for someone to date. And then, like, if you respond and you're in any way a threat to anybody else's self-worth, your post immediately gets downloaded.
This looks easy. I guess I'll go
easy
on them.
Obviously, they're threatened, but it's not a me thing because I didn't say anything offensive. I said, I think it was like a post talking about somebody who was like super into music and they could play instruments. And I'm super into music and can play instruments, and I do, and I talked about that fact. And it's like you check on the post, and it's like, you know, -1. It's like, okay, I got 2 downvotes. Why? It wasn't an offensive post or anything mean. So obviously it's because, you know, people are threatened. It's whatever. People manage to find happiness, good for them, but just seems very much like a cesspool where all the slime congeals.
Who's next?
So yeah, just like I said before, we're just finding out skills. Speaking of which, I can make sure. Working on that. Okay. Carol had something that he learned that I'm gonna have to fix. I forgot to do that. Yeah, this is the part that's boring. Like, Like, I'm probably gonna have this stuff available, just unlisted maybe, because it's not really doing anything for the story. It's just me grinding out these skills. Let's do that first. Gotta make sure to turn off minimum attack and stuff, because whenever he does get back in the party, we actually want him to be able to do damage. And I'm also getting people's moves up to like 50 each. It doesn't really matter for casters. I feel like it doesn't matter too much because a lot of the spells that we're going to learn are altered arts, which is a new feature that they added in this game. And we're not at the point where we can even start with altered arts, so it's not something we want to worry about. We probably won't start getting items that have the altered art stats on them until we get to Nordopolica, which is at least one dungeon away. We have one dungeon to go to before we get to Nordopolica.
Yeah, I feel.
Well, let me let my cat out. Every time he comes in here, I know he's just gonna want to get out immediately. So give me 1 second. Oh my god! I hope I didn't fuck up the volume again, because I dinged my headphone.
Oh, there's no challenge at all. Don't get careless.
Maybe today wasn't the day to make my triumphant return back to streaming. Just not feeling it.
Not too shabby, huh?
And I know it's gonna make for less than stellar content, but I feel like I have to get something out, man. I don't like also just like feeling sad and not doing anything. Like I feel like I have to do something to distract me. In video games,
Sorry if I
throughout
hurt
my
you.
whole life, I've pretty much been that distraction for whenever times get rough.
I have an idea.
And so it sucks when the thing that used to be your go-to activity for getting through the day, you also feel compelled to use that activity to try and make a living out of it. That's probably why most people won't stream, because they don't want to turn something that they love doing into like a chore. But I don't
So
find
is
this a
that
chore.
okay?
The hard part is
Beautiful.
like getting out of my head about it. Like that's the chore part, not the playing the game part. That's still fun. Although this part admittedly isn't so fun. The skill grinding is not the most interesting thing. This game definitely did go kind of ham with the stuff that you have to grind in it, which is kind of a good thing. There's lots of content in this game. Is it engaging content? Maybe not necessarily, but I like the feel of
This'll
power
make good
progression
practice. Don't get
and
cocky.
going from having nothing to having lots of things. And I think this game does that really well.
Delightful.
Alright, who's next?
Like you get your arts and then you can turn your arts into other arts, and it's really sweet. And then, you know, you look at the more modern Tales of games. We'll see how Tales of Arise does, but you look at the newer ones. And you've gone from grinding out skills to like not having any, and you just button mash. Like Tales of Vesperia, it's like, oh, just button mash Y, button mash X, but like, I was so disappointed with the combat system in that game. Story-wise, well, it was kind of interesting. I didn't like Velvet as a main character, but everybody loves Velvet because she's
This
a woman
looks
with boobs.
easy. I guess I'll go easy on them.
Her character isn't very complex. It's a revenge fantasy until she realizes that
A cornered
her
cat
revenge
becomes
fantasy
a
was
lion.
wrong, and then the
Or so-
game's over. And you also, you know, button mash. She's a very overpowered character. Like, she has main character syndrome up the wazoo.
Man, could
Like,
you
you
be
feel-
any weaker?
I guess I'll.
wholly weak as a party if she's not in it, because like nobody else does what she does, which is just insane amounts of damage. Oh, I gotta tell you to not do. Well, you can use it this one time, but in the future, Judith, you can't just go using items. That's fine. Nearby enemies is fine. Okay.
Let's go.
I mean, we got our poison bottle back after that fight, but still. I don't want them using items because you lose grade if you use items. We might as well grind grade while we're also doing this. It's not an efficient way to grind grade, by the way.
Ooh, they look scary.
The best way to grind grade is to Fatal Strike chain farm, but that won't be till way later.
Shining Fang! Dragon Swarm! Shining Fang!
Ooh, nice moves.
Dragon!
Rest in peace.
Let's see, what skills do we still need? Stat boost, you're still working on that. You're not working on anything. Let's do this. Okay, she's done. Let's just put the best possible equipment on her now. You're still doing that, you're still doing that, you're still doing that. Alright, cool. Dog, have you finished up Shadowfang yet? You're like killing me with this. You're killing me, Small.
Don't get sloppy.
Boys, the Kindler. That's from Rugrats. I do a lot of like pop culture referencing whenever I play games and stuff to keep myself entertained. Like I don't know, it's like, it's the old school content creation mentality of you always gotta be talking and saying something, so it seems like I'm saying nonsense, and it is for the most part, but at the same time, it's a way to keep myself engaged and not be bored, because we're doing boring stuff right now. Like this, yeah. I guess I kind of contradict myself, huh? Like, it's lots of content, but it's not, you know, the best content. But I'd rather have, you know, like, I don't have to do this, like, but if you show me that there's lots of, like, ways to gain power, I'm gonna be inclined to do this. And I'd rather have the optional, like, skill grind than to not have any skills at all. Like, Tales of Vesperia brought skills back on equipment, they brought that feature back.
I gotta try and keep up.
I'm not a fan of the button mash style that game is.
Yeah, I feel.
These are the
And
threats.
for me, the reason why I play the Tales of games is like, it's mainly for the combat. The combat's really fun, and it wasn't fun in that game, which is unfortunate. Crushing Eagle, everything we got here. Up to 50, yes, goodness. 500 uses on this one. The uses, and they like upped it up, like they upped the ante on the moves too. Like instead of maxing out at 999, it maxes out at 9999. So you could like use an art up to 9,999 times. Pretty wacky.
Alright, who's next?
Pierce Buster.
Oh, this fight is lasting forever. Lots of little enemies, that's why.
Repeat. Oh.
Okay. Dog, how are you on your arts? Close, close. I could just spam them out myself so we can get other people in the party so it's less stagnant. Speaking of stagnation here, take a quick drink of coffee here. I don't know, man. It feels like once you get past a certain age, like the internet just isn't a place for you anymore. Like people in their 20s take over.
How's this? Resurrection.
Oh, hey. You learned that at what level? 39 or what level? Not 39.
Okay.
Level 30?
Yay!
Is that what we're at? Dang, that feels kind of late, huh? But there it is. Hopefully I mean, there are gonna be some fights where we do. Eventually, depending on how powerful we feel, I might bump the difficulty up to hard. But,
Don't get careless.
okay, I'm done with everything. She's almost done. You're almost done. You've been done. I need to also check your arts and stuff just so that they're done. 37, 28, 44, 2. That's a new move, obviously, because the voice recording was a little sus.
The sign of victory. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, what do we got? What do we got? Almost done. This will probably be not on YouTube. I did it the first time around. But upon thinking about it, I'm feeling maybe it's not the most entertaining thing to watch. But if people want to watch it, I'll have it unlisted or something. I don't know. It's a... Not that I'm getting a lot of views anyways, but it's good to fake it until you make it kind of thing. Views have been not as active as they were, probably because school started back up. And it's rough, man. You gotta, like, really, like, count on the fact that, like, okay, like, we're heading into August and stuff's not gonna go up until, like, fall vacation and, like, you know, when people are home from the first semester of college and shit.
Let's work
You have to be able to deal with that, and like, you know, all of your fans, the internet is an everywhere place, it's not just in the States. Some of your fans might come from Europe.
We're done.
These are the threads that weave our future.
Another thing that kind of grinds my gears is, I don't know, I need 50 followers to become affiliate. I feel like I've gotten like 2 follows, but maybe they were fake. I don't know.
This looks easy.
Don't get careless.
Like the Streamlabs one, like a follow didn't pop up, but a follow popped up on my Twitch feed, like on the actual Twitch website, so I don't know. I'm still at 18, I feel like I've been at 18 for like a long time now.
Resound, O cry of victory!
Like visibility on this platform is rough, man. And it's like you don't really have a, what's the general etiquette of like advertising your stream, like that's one reason why I initially joined Reddit, is to like try and find ways to advertise on my stream, but it's like you can't advertise your stream in other streams, it's considered BM. There are some forums where it's probably BM to advertise there. I mean, I guess I could post on the Twitch subreddit just anytime I go live and see who might show up. Couldn't hurt, I guess.
This looks easy. I guess I'll go
I'll
easy
do that
on
next
them.
time. How many more moves are you gonna learn? Oh, I got multiple backsteps now. Yay! forgot what that's actually called. That's a really funny looking thing though. That's one way to give yourself one frame of iframes, if that makes sense. If you backstep right as they attack you, you'll get a blue shield for just one hit though. A lot of the times it's like not enough, but it's kind of cool, I guess. In the early game, before you really have lots of skills to use, it's one way of it's one way to kind of guarantee you'll maybe get a hit in. No, no, no. Almost done. It's just that we made so many weapons for like the dog, and the dog has to learn everything. I think he's almost done with his shit now. Yeah, we can get him out of the party and bring in someone else. Just for change it up. Just to new face.
Alright, who's next?
And then with commentary too,
Let's go.
it's like you get, should I be talking more about the game? A lot of the times, like, I do, but excuse me, I'm so sorry about that. There's not much to talk about with it, right? Like, either it's all visual or I'm doing something like this that's repetitive,
This looks
monotonous.
easy.
Don't get careless.
Because it's something that we have to do. Like, I'm not really grinding for level, I'm like grinding for skills. Overall, I don't really, unless it's like Pokemon, I don't really like level grind.